Hello, I am Dave Maths. I'll be working you through a few substitution equation methods and providing detailed explanations. Substitution method is another technique used to solve systems of equations. Here are the rules for using substitution method. First, solve for one equation for one variable. Second, substitute the expression into the other equation. Third, solve for remaining variable. Fourth, substitute the value back. Fifth, check your solution. I will start with question 1. Y equals 5x plus 2. X plus 2y equals 15. Equation 1 represents the top, while 2 is the bottom. In this present question, we don't need to solve one equation for one variable because y is already in one variable, there's no need to do so. All we have to do is enter the value of y from equation 1 into equation 2 because we don't need to find equation 3. Now we just have to substitute. X plus 2y equals 15. We write x plus 2, then we substitute the value of y, which is 5x plus 2. Next we multiply the value of 2 by 5x, then we have 10x plus 4. Equals 15. X plus 10x is 11x. Collect like terms, separate the coefficient of x from the numbers. 11x equals to 11. By dividing both sides by 11, which is the coefficient of x. X equals to 1. Now we can substitute the value of x into any of the equation to get the value of y. You can select either equation 1 or 2, however equation 1 is my preference. It's simpler to determine the value of y in equation 1, which is why I chose it. Then I will write y equals 5x plus 2. Represent the value of x, which is 1. Then y equals to 5 plus 2. Y then becomes 7. Then we can represent x as 1 and y as 7. This is the final answer. Then we can plot a graph to see. Typically, the vertical axis is called the y-axis, and the horizontal axis is called the x-axis. Both of these are on the positive axis, therefore we may indicate this on the graph book. And that's how we find our graph. I will pick another question, and that will be question 7. X plus 6y equals minus 2. 3x plus 2y equals 10. The first thing to do is to form a single variable which we can call equation 3. Here we can choose one of the equations in the system and solve it for one of the variables in terms of the other variable. After that, I'll create equation 3 using equation 1. Equation 1 is x plus 6y equals minus 2. Making x the subject of the formula, we will have x equals minus 2 minus 6y. Equation 3 will be formed by this. Then we substitute the value of x in equation 3 into equation 2. Then we can write out the expression of equation 2. That's 3x plus 2y equals 10. Next is to substitute the value of x into it. Afterwards, we have 3 open bracket minus 2 minus 6y closed bracket. Plus 2y equals 10. After that, we may multiply out. Three times minus 2 is minus 6. 3 times minus 6y is minus 18y. Plus 2y equals 10. Minus 18y plus 2y means you still owe 16 because you owe 18 and you have 2. Minus is simply denoted as owing. Collect-like terms separate the values of y from the numbers. The negative sign is subsequently transformed to a positive sign by moving minus 6 to the right. Dividing both sides by the coefficient of y, which is minus 16. Y is then equal to minus 1. Substitute the value of y into any equation of your choice. However, I personally think equation 1 is better for me to easily get my answer. X plus 6y equals minus 2. Now I will substitute the value of y equals minus 1 into the expression. Six times minus 1 is minus 6. Collect like terms, separate the numbers from the x. Minus 2 plus 6 is plus 4. X is equal to 4, while y is equal to negative 1. Let's plot the graph. Typically, the vertical axis is called the y-axis, and the horizontal axis is called the x-axis. On the positive axis is x, and on the negative axis is y. Y is minus 1 while x is 4. Next is question 10. Five y minus 3z equals 2. 2y minus z equals 1. So we form equation 3 from equation 1. Five y minus 3z equals 2. We want to make y the subject of the formula. So we move minus 3z to the right and it becomes plus 3z. Dividing both sides by 5 to isolate y. Y equals to 2 plus 3z over 5. Now we substitute the value of y. In equation 3 to into equation 2. Equation 2 is 2y minus z equals to 1. From here I can substitute the value of y into it. Y is 2 plus 3z over 5. Multiply 2 with the numerator. 2 times 2 is 4 and 2 times 3z is 6z. Don't forget the denominator 5. I made the z a unit fraction by dividing by 1. Now we can find the lowest common multiples of 5 and 1. Five into 5 is 1, 1 times 4 plus 6z is still the same. One into 5 is 5, 5 times z is 5z. I will make 1 a unit fraction by dividing by 1 so that I can cross multiply. I will get the same value since I am multiplying by 1. Six z minus 5z is z. Collect like terms. Z equals 1. Now we can substitute the value of z into any equation of our choice. For me, I will choose equation 2. Then we can write 2y minus z equals 1. Represent z with 1. Collect like terms. Minus 1 moves right to become plus 1. 2y equals to 2. Divide both side by 2 the coefficient of y. Y equals to 1. X and y are both 1. I'm attempting to see if my testing of the values of y and z produced the right results. Just as you have observed. It is accurate for both equations, 1 and 2. Then we can plot a graph for it. The graph is easy since both coordinate are 1. Lastly, we can solve the final question, which is question 14. (3x plus 2y equals 0). For x plus y equals 5. Here we can form equation 3 from equation 2. Since equation 2 already isolates y, I would want to use it instead of equation 1, which will only provide me with a fraction. So I will write out equation 2, which is 4x plus y equals to 5. I will isolate y, then I will have y equals 5 minus 4x. This will be my equation 3. Then I will substitute the value of y in equation 3 into equation 1. Equation 1 is 3x plus 2y equals 0. Then I will represent y with 5 minus 4x. Two times 5 is 10. 2 times minus 4x is minus 8x. Collect like terms. (3x minus 8x equals minus 10 because the 10 moves to the right and now it has minus. (3x minus 8x equals to minus 5x). Divide both sides by minus 5 since it's the coefficient of x. X equals to 2. Now we can substitute the value of x into equation 1. Equation 1 is 3x plus 2y equals 0. Then we substitute x with 2. Three times 2 is 6. Collect like terms. (6 equals to minus 2y). Divide both sides by -2 since it's the coefficient of y. Y then equals to -3. So x equals to 2 while y is equal to -3. Here's the graph for the solution. X is on the positive side while y is on the negative side. You can follow me for more content like this. Thanks for watching. See you in next class.